nowhere.com.
I want to welcome you to the American Family Series, which is something I've decided to start, especially against the backdrop of everything happening in the country of America. I started living here 2021, and I have given myself, to studying the American system and the American family system from an historic point of view. And it becomes very worrisome when I see what has been and some of the cases we're handling. Now, before I got into America, I worked in Africa and precisely Nigeria, which is the most, the biggest black country in the world. And I understand the dynamics and the nuances of the African family. And so when I got in here and I started working with a Black American family, it wasn't totally different from what we had back home. The same way your parents are going to treat you is the same way, their parents kind of treated them. Maybe with a bit of variation and a bit of historical differences. However, one thing is certain. As I began to study the white original American family, I discovered that, the parents were really much in charge of things. Daddy, mommy, they took charge of the home and the children had their responsibilities and the parents were supposed to raise them to become responsible citizens, even at work. And so it was a bit of well structured, and then the endpoint was a bit predictable. And so, for emphasis sake, what we have right now is not what it's always been. And so, whilst they had their problem way back, which would include racism, because again, you cannot claim you have a successful family life when the rights of some other human beings are being violated. After all, America was founded on the strength of we hold this truth to be self-evident that all men are made in God's image, right? And so, if all men are made in God's image, you cannot look at someone else that also looks like God's image and now trample on their right, which is inexcusable. Of course, we may have grown past that. However, one thing that became very clear to me is that every problem we're dealing with right now could have been a shift away from the conventional family system. I've always said that the most important nation on earth is your family because the family is the production factory of the society. Now, we say that, parents are responsible for their children. And so if a child commits a crime, you're likely going to question the parent. Or if a child is misbehaving in school, they're likely going to call the parent. But then we are degenerating or graduating to that phase where we're saying that children are free to make choices, children are free to do whatever they want. Now, why are they children if they can make the choices we're asking them to make? It's a question I've come to ask today because we cannot talk about all the moral decadence and the problems all across the continent, the nation called America, maybe even not America in whole, without going back to the family to say that right now America has got a lot more single-led families to say where are the daddies, right? And so if we are getting to the point where we have more single-led families, what is going to happen to the children? So you have a lot of children who are bitter, some of them with mental health issues as a result of the trauma they've had to face simply because the home did not work. Now, what kind of society can we build if the home never works? Because what we're doing is we're going to create an imbalance. And maybe before even then, we need to begin to ask ourselves, what's the quality of people giving birth to children? Because what I'm saying here is that children are giving birth to children. So you have a girl who's going to get pregnant maybe at 16. And trust me, we don't stigmatize, we provide support. But that girl is going to become a mother at the age of 16. When she becomes a mother at the age of 16, she's going to grow and raise a child. And then before she's 39 or 40, she's already a grandmother because her daughter is going to give birth to a child maybe at 14 or at 16. Now, the question is that the future we want? Because it's not as if we don't know the problem, but we run away from the problem and we plunge into another problem. One thing I want us to begin to talk about as responsible Americans and responsible family people, because we can't keep quiet, right? Because that feels like a convenient thing to do. Now, if we keep quiet, it has no stop the violence that some of the children who are traumatized are perpetrating and unleashing on the nation. The last time there was a young kid who tried to kill the former president of America, President Donald Trump, right? That child, I think it's about 19 or 20. The question is, how was it raised? Right? What were the pains in his life? What were the things he was dealing with? And how come he couldn't have a conversation with his parents or have a conversation with his friend? These are the things we're dealing with. And that's why we say, you see, America was founded on liberty, on justice, right? But you see, freedom and liberty is not a right to unleash pain on other people. But if we do not lay hold of the proper family structure, family system that can produce wholesome individuals into the society, what is going to happen is that we will raise traumatized kids who are going to grow into traumatized teenagers and they're going to traumatize all of us. And that's where I think we're at. Now, we may not be able to save everyone, but one thing we've decided to do at the Principal Research LLC going forward is that we're going to be running village meetings, we're going to be running community meetings, where we are listening to parents and where we are having conversations and we're helping them build framework because many of the parents are really trying. Some of them are behind when it comes to payment of their mortgages and the bills and what have you. And that can also torment them. Now, how sane can you be when you are groaning on the burden of bills and then you still have to raise a child? It can be very traumatic. And so unconsciously, trauma is passed to a child. And if trauma is passed to a child, the child grows up to hate himself because he didn't bring himself into this world. And so whatever the airwaves is selling, which often is not the correct thing, but then with a lot of advertisement lying to the people, a child picks his values from the airwaves. And the airwaves is not the right parent to instill the right values into a child. So the question I've come to ask you is this. Is your family working? You live in America. Is your family working? Are you happy with the way your children are growing? Are you happy with what is happening in your life? And whether you're single-led or you're a couple-led family, are you happy? Genuinely happy? It's a question I wanted to answer on the comment box. You can go there and let me know how you're doing. But we're going to be going from city to city. We're starting from Texas. And then we will move to other cities, maybe Maryland, DC, and New York, and several other states. We're going to be going to this meeting. We're coming somewhere close to you in the days to come. But before then, I want you to know that the nation we see today is a reflection of the collection of our families. And if we don't like what we don't like what children are becoming, we don't like the fact that you have children who are getting into drugs, you have children who are getting pregnant, in their teenage years, and who are not going to college, you're dropping out of college, children that you are worried about even as a parent, and it looks like you're even popping BP pills as a result of the fact that you're looking at your children and you are not happy. Or you have even accepted learned helplessness to say, there's nothing I can do. And then the children are becoming parents who are now parenting you. If you are that parent and you think you're not happy with what the society has become, right? I know we have strong laws and we have strong legislations and regulations, which has practically kept the nation together. But there is a lot we can do as parents. I mean, I didn't know until last week that there's a particular weekend, a particular last Sunday of July that is dedicated to parents in America, right? And almost as if the day went by and we didn't hear so much about it. But parenting is one of the critical tools that we need to understand, manage, and deploy. But you can't parent effectively when you are hurting. And that is why we're going to go from, processing your own parental experience, because many of us were victim of secondary trauma from our own parents, and now we've grown into that and we're passing it down to our children. I know you have done very well for your children, but we need to understand that we can raise awesome children and we can create an awesome parenting framework together. And if we create that framework, it will change us a little bit because you cannot create a future on the strength of who you are right now. It would mean that you will need to shift ground a little bit and get to where you need to be so that you can respond to your child in love, and what the child experiences from you is love and not meanness. And when a child experiences love, the child grows into the society, and what the child stands to pass to the society is also love. If you're ready with me, I'm ready with you. I'm going to be coming your way more frequently, and we're going to be discussing various aspects of American family life. Now, if in case you don't know my name is Praise For. We're originally from Nigeria, but I live in Texas. And then what I'm wearing right now is the signature cap of my tribe. I'm a Yoruba man from Nigeria, and then this signifies chieftain's title. And then I have a wristband which says I'm a savior. And that's what I'm called to do, to bring liberation to families so that society can live in harmony and work together effectively. I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to having your comments. Let me know. Are you happy with the way things are going, or you are joining me to raise a new generation of parents across America who will stand for what is right, who will master and learn how to parent effectively and how to raise wholesome children so that we can begin to raise wholesome leaders who genuinely love the people and are willing to serve the people. Thank you very much. God bless you. I'll see you some other time, sometimes soon. Till then, keep loving, keep believing, and I'll see you around very soon. My name is Praise Forward once again, and I head the Praise Forward Research LLC in Dallas, Texas. Have a fantastic day. Bye bye.
I am praiseforwarware.com.